Hey guys, welcome to the second week. This is day 7 onwards for building our line striping business. So we've got a brand new company that we've called EduLines. Now this business is all about, well, it's a brand new line striping company that's all about striping school playgrounds. Basically, we're looking at sports courts for schools. We're not going to go for the really decorative, games like hopscotch and snakes and ladders, that sort of thing. We're just going to go for super easy, simple to do, something that we can do with basically a spray machine only. So the other things we're going to get done this week, I've got a bit of a list of things we need to get finished here this week. So we're going to put together the website. We're going to link up Calendly. We've got to finalize our pricing. We've got to write a letter. Ideally do a little bit of research as well. We've got to find out who else is competing for school line marking. So we can get an idea of what people are charging, what sort of services they've got, what their websites look like. Now, I'm not want to focus too much on what the competition are doing. I don't really care. But I do also want to make sure that we are hitting a sort of a good enough standard. So we need to understand exactly what it is our customers are looking for. And as I mentioned last week, my understanding from any other school that I've ever spoken to previously is that cost is one of the most important factors, probably the biggest deciding factor when they go with a new supplier. It comes down to price. And I hate that because I have never, ever, ever been the cheapest and never want to be. I would say I've always been the sort of higher end of pricing, and I always want to stay that way. Only way to be. So we need to understand what the sort of rough price point is for this market, how long it's going to take us to do the installs, what it's roughly going to cost us to do that as well. And then we need to put together a business plan, a website, the Calendly link, write the letter, get a list of schools. I mean, there is a huge load of work to be done this week. So to start out with, I thought we'd have a quick look at school line marking companies, just see what comes up. Now, when I type this in, the first thing I'm getting is Northampton line markings. So looking at this, the website looks pretty cool. It's nice, it's clean, it's easy. It shows that could be a school. These are definitely schools. They look pretty good. The website's nice and easy to use. I quite like the website. Linemarkings.net, these guys do playground line markings. Doesn't really tell us much about price, but we've got a couple of nice trust indicators on here as well, so I quite like that. The website itself, not massively keen, but hey, we're not here to judge websites. Total line marking. We come across these guys every now and then, but they're based in Kent from what I understand. In fact, I'm sure they're based Kent, so I doubt they're going to... Let's have a quick look. Yeah, they're nowhere near us, so not really going to go after the same customer base often, but I have come across them a few times. Their work always seems pretty good. Doesn't give us any indication of price or what they might include. That's pretty cool. Wow, I like that. That's oh, I've just knocked the camera. That's a pretty good job they've done there. I like that. Yeah, this is preform. This is not what we're going to be doing. We're going to avoid that. We're going to go spray. Doesn't really tell me much more about it. Let's just see what this one is. Nice looking school, done in thermoplastic, I believe. Looking at that, we're going to go spray. Yeah, you know what? Doesn't tell me a great deal. Looking at this, I looked at this one earlier, I think, playground markings. Yeah, I looked at this, and I like this. But I don't think they offer the same sort of thing as us, because this is all preformed thermo. Everything we're going to be doing is spray applied. And this is more your traditional games, I suppose, like hopscotch, and I'm not sure what this one is, but Mr. Wolf, whatever that one is. Snakes and ladders. Yeah, this is more it, right? The sports courts like this. So if we have a quick look. Okay, they've got a basketball court. They are 535. Nice. Their hockey, arguably this is probably going to be the 712, right? Let's have a quick look, see how much they're charging. Accessories. Oh, none. 590. Okay, cool. Nice. Let's see what else they've got. Netball court, 535. Do you know what? That kind of sits around about the pricing I was thinking. This is really what I was looking for, actually. This gives us an indication of price and tells us where we might want to be price-wise. Although, like I say, I'm not really going to be heavily influenced by what other people are doing with it, because I kind of like to do my own thing. Now, what I will show you guys is I've put together a bit of info here. And I've put together the business plan. The business plan I've got, arguably it's pretty big, right? It's 40 odd pages, but it goes through how we're going to start and run the business, from start to finish, literally where it's going to get to within 3 years, 5 years, etc., where I'd like to grow it to, how big I think that market will be. And just to give you an indication of how big the market will be, we can use something like ChatGPT and just say, how many schools are there in the UK? Now, this is a key reason that I've picked schools for this business. Okay, so we have 32,149 schools, of which 3,500 secondary, 16,764 primary. If I were to then ask how many warehouses are there, in warehouses, there are 5,000 businesses. Okay, that doesn't tell me how many warehouses. 5,000 businesses, each business arguably occupying one warehouse, you'd imagine. Maybe some have got multiple warehouses. We recently done some work for DHL. They've got maybe 15, 20 warehouses, but I would say that's uncommon. We could arguably say that for 5,000, if everybody had 2, which they don't, then we could say there are maybe 10,000 warehouses. But in terms of infrastructure, 700 million square feet. So 61% growth in the last decade. Now that's pretty good. We're going to see a 61% growth in a year. In a 10-year period, 6% annually. Now, in terms of schools, though, you can see why I've gone for schools. There are so many more. And that's why we're going to target purely the schools. The downside I mentioned, of course, is they're only going to allow us in the holidays, which is going to be a real bugger. Now, I have put this into my business plan. So if I bring up our schools, I've put together the full business plan that covers all of this. So we've got 40 odd pages of targeting information, of research done, and there's a lot of info. But what I have done, you can get a copy of that, by the way. If you want a copy of my full business plan, I'll put a link below so you guys can get hold of that. But I've actually put together a reduced version, which I'm going to show you right here. So for this one, I've just clarified and outlined what we're going to be doing. So we're targeting East Anglia, Bedfordshire, Northamptonshire, West Midlands, and we're going to be doing purely the netball, tennis, and other sort of similar markings. I've got a rough price of 200 to 500, depending on whether it's an overmark or a brand new. But the important thing is here, I have got a minimum spend of $599 per project. Now, I've highlighted this for you. The reason being is I think it's really important to consider. I did this at linemark.com, that we have a minimum spend in place. So for example, if you go to, I'll just show you how now I'm not going to have one as fancy as this because we haven't got the money. But for example, if I get a quote, go to areas we cover, you can type in, for example, CB1, like Cambridgeshire, and it will come up and saying the minimum spend is $699 plus the VAT. So I charge a minimum at linemark.com of £700. Given that we're going to schools, I'm changing that to $599 per project minimum spend. So it is £100 less than I would do for my specialist line marking at linemark.com. But this is a trial that we're going to do because we're only targeting a few areas. I thought we'll trial it at this price point and say it's $200 per quote for an overmark, $500 for a brand new one, but you're going to spend at least $600 on a project. So that's basically where we're at. I've also just outlined some of the costs that we've got here as well. So we've got the Graco 130HS, all bought and paid for. We've then got Xero, which is costing us £20 a month. This is our accountancy software we're also going to be using for our quotes, and then Pipedrive, the CRM that we're going to be using as well. This will help us manage that the quote system, the client relationship, and everything else. So 90 days, average net profit of 80%. That's pretty high, right? But that's about where it is. Okay. So here's my goals. We're going to achieve 20 school contracts within our first 3 months, maintain an average project value of £1,200 a school at that price, and generate at least $19,200 in net profit in the first 90 days. That's pretty big because we've got a £10,000 spend, or 10 grand spend to go. We've spent 8 already. We've got 2 grand left. I think I can 10x that just through the letters. So I've said that we're going to become the leading provider of playground line striping. This does not include the decorative playgrounds. This is purely sports courts, I suppose you might want to say, because there are some other companies out there that do some amazing printed thermoplastic, but the cost of getting involved in buying a thermoplastic machine would just be stupid money in the minute. So we're going to do long-lasting and high-quality lines. I've pretty much, I'm set on the pricing here. So for this one, we've got no real cost to the business at this point. Like we've literally funded our machine. Our cost is now going to be writing the letters. I do have a way, I'm thinking, I haven't written the letter, but I have a way of making it seem a bit more exclusive. So we're going to use some nice printing inks and paper. I was even thinking of getting a wax seal to go on the back of the letter, so when you open it, it's like a super luxury sort of thing. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. The one thing I'm going to do, right? So I'm going to offer a monthly subscription for this. Now, the problem with that is it means slower revenue as opposed to charging more upfront. But one of the things I was thinking is I can say to a school, okay, we want to charge $1,200 for, let's say, a project, but because we've got such a high net profit margin of sort of 80%, give or take 20% for our material, and I'm going to be doing the install, then I could afford to take monthly payments from the schools and help them balance their cash flow. But schools aren't like businesses. They will only buy if they already have the money there. So maybe that wouldn't be enough of an incentive for a school to pay more money to me. So I'm not sure, but I was thinking, will that allow me to charge more money? I think that's pretty much it. So you can get a copy of this one if you want, completely free of charge. I'll show this one below so you can see roughly where we're going to be, 20, 30, 50 schools, what we should make in revenue. We've got our marketing, so we're going to be doing literally our 500 schools with the letters that we're sending out, follow-up phone calls, and we'll offer a bit of a referral for ones within a trust or, like a group of schools, that sort of thing. I'm hoping to get a response rate of 10%, right? From 500, I'm hoping to get 50 respond. I'm hoping to get 20 out of those to sign contracts with me, and I should generate 24,000 roughly off of that with my target price of 1,200, and that will give us a nice healthy profit. We've got everything pretty much set up. Our software's pretty much all done. Let's just space that out. Yeah, total overhead $60 a month. Yeah, we're going to get low response rates to start with. That's pretty much it. So this is where we're at. So we've finished that. We're up to this week 250 mailers to send out and start our follow-up calls. Now, I have got a few of the bits on this week, so I'm going to write the letter first, get that one sent out, put together a one-page website because I want the schools to be able to go online and check us out if they're interested and they need a bit more info. So the other thing you could do, you could use ChatGPT for this, right? I need to write a letter to a school introducing our line marking. Now, I am writing line marking because I'm actually sending this letter out here in the UK, so I won't call it line striping. I think one of the key things, right, if you're going to be using ChatGPT, is to really go all out on the prompts. Like, I use I press the FN key twice, and it allows you to talk to it. And I will just talk and say, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to say, this is how I want it to come across. I want to have a compelling reason for them to book a meeting. I want to get this, and this out of it. And it will basically go away and write that for you. So if I were to do that, we are high quality and focus on schools only. I don't know. We will a remote pricing service and allow them to book a site meeting with us using a Calendly booking link. You know what? We just hit return. The thing is, this will produce a letter. We'll then refine this letter and say, okay, I don't like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, but these are the bits I do like. And that's the way I would do it. So it never produces it the way I want it on the first draft. I always have to go back 3 or 4 times and really get that done. So I've got to change the name because obviously it's not from Linemark. But this to me is too salesy. And I think it's worth just saying that to it as well. This sounds too much like a sales pitch. Please write this as if we know the recipient. So this is another thing I think is worth doing, right? So I didn't like the first letter. And I think we need to go back and say, okay, cool. We can actually do reflective MMA, which will allow the light to reflect from the floodlights. That'll mean that you can stay open for longer. Now you'll see obviously in the reduced version of the business plan, that's not what I've included in here for you. I have just basically given a very, very basic overview of what the business plan is. But you know what? That one's completely free of charge if you guys want to have a look at it. If you want the full business plan, like I say, I'll put a link below. That goes into an awful lot of detail on everything we've done. So it goes into everything. In fact, it's the exact business plan we use at linemark.com. So it gives you the full behind the scenes of how we build everything at linemark.com and how that works. So let's have a quick look at this one. I hope you're doing well. Wanted to reach out, worked with a number of schools recently, thought it might be useful to discuss your playground sports court line markings. Many schools are looking to maximize. So this is in US spelling. So a nice little tip you can do with ChatGPT is just say, hey, put it all into UK English for me, and it'll change that for you. Borrow to them out. We specialize in delivering high quality reflective markings for helping. To me, that seems like a nice, easy way to do it. And with Calendly, I can just book a nice booking link, but I'll also put a website on there as well. And then we'll follow up with a phone call. Now, given that we're going to be sending so many of these out, I'm probably not going to find out the names of each of these people from the website because it would just take so long. And I think, honestly, better to get the letters out, follow up with the phone call, and then sort of fix it as we go. But, I'm a one-man band at this point. So, if you've got a team of people, you can spend the time researching exactly who that person is. You might get a better response rate. But time is massively of the essence here, given that we only have 90 days to get profitable. So I'm happy with that letter. That will do pretty much sorted for me. So I can bang that into a new Word document. I will literally copy that. I'm not sure I like all of it, but I'm gonna grab a bit of it, highlight that link just so I don't forget. But yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do for our letter. I think I'm quite happy with that. The other things we've got to get done, I need to come up with the logo design finalized and the domain and everything set up as well, the web page. So I'm thinking of using lead pages. Because I've used it, one or two times before, and I think it's pretty good. We'll create a brand new landing page, and then we're also going to create the logo design, which I'm going to show you how we've done that as well. So I'll add that in just a second. In fact, let's have a look at the logo first and what we're going to do for that, and then I'll show you exactly how we're going to build this website out. And let's have a go from there. Okay, so if you guys haven't used Canva before, this is like my go-to tool for everything to do basically design work wise. If we're doing adverts, if we're doing thumbnails for YouTube channels, everything we do goes through Canva. It's such a great tool. We do pay for the premium edition at linemark.com, but you'll notice I'm not using one of the premium ones here. This is one of the free basic ones. So if you guys are interested, you can just get onto Canva. You can do the free one here. But this is what I'm thinking for edgy lines, right? Just really basic. This doesn't need to be extravagant. We just need to space it out, make sure we're happy with, roughly how it's looking. I think, we can go up a little bit there. Get it roughly there. Looks about parallel, give or take. Yeah, somewhere around that looks pretty good to me. All right, I'm happy with that. Should we maybe change the colors? I don't know if we can have a look at some new colors on this and just, what we got? We got a blue, yeah. Not sure about the blues. No. Let's go back. So black. Let's try. What else can we do? Maybe a green or something. Yeah, let's go lime. Oh, lime green with the black. Let's find out what colors work together. All right. This is okay. So I'm kind of liking that yellowy-ish, greenish, bluish. Oh no, that looked better in the other picture. I actually think yellow never prints well either. Go back white. No, it's not right. Apologies. I don't know. I think that looks like too much. We'll try to center the whole thing up because I think that's probably the issue. It's nicer. Okay, I like that font better. Yeah, let's recenter it all. That's what I'm thinking. That looks pretty good. Let's download that one. Done. Okay, that'll download. We can literally bang that onto our documents now. Let's have a quick look how this looks. Well, you get the idea. This is basically it. So we're going to go through, we're just going to change the logos up that we can see here. And then I'm just going to rewrite the beginning so that we can do this for edgy lines. Just change that again. That's huge, isn't it? Let's just scroll that back down. Cool. That's on the line. That looks pretty good. Let's have a quick look down here then. We're just going to change this 2025 for edgy lines. This is going to be the full business plan, this one. So this is the big daddy one, if you like. Here we go, edgylines.co.uk. That's the domain we've just purchased through GoDaddy. So let's just grab that. Awesome job. Let me just build this part out as well. We're going to create a new landing page. I'm just going to actually go back onto GoDaddy and make sure we have got everything we need. Yeah, I quite like this. you know what, we're going to go for it. Just use that one there. So we're going to call this Edulines. Let's just add this image in, just see how, hopefully this looks quite nice for our little web page. And then we're just going to finalize the letter and then literally get this out ready to go. Hopefully we'll get some bookings in. I've got a list of the first 35 schools, 34 schools. We're just going to compile a few more. Educational line marking. We can come up with like a catchy little slogan for that. This one here is going to be let's get a new pop-up. So for this one here, we're going to create a Calendly pop-up. So we need to just go to calendly.com. Let's create a Calendly account. So I already have a Calendly account I've just set up, but I've got one from linemark.com, but you can join one here. So if I just go to pricing, so one event type, one calendar, customized availability. This is pretty much everything I think you're going to need. You can get this literally free of charge. I don't think you're going to need anything else straight away, but if you did, I'd go for the £10 one to start with, or $10. You don't, unless you're going to link things like this, which we're not. Unlimited event types. This to me seems pretty good. That's pretty much all I need. So I'm just going to go log in. I'm going to set up my email, log in with 365. Now I've already got my login. So, okay, so I already have a couple written here, but this one here, let's have a quick look. I'll show you what we've got. A line marking quote. So this one does Zoom, Teams, phone call to go through the line markings. We basically go through it together. I've set availability, so weekdays 10 till 5, nice and easy. I'm going to host it for them. Line marking quote, that's basically all we need. So what I'm going to do with this one, we're just going to, let's just preview, see how it looks. Okay, so they can book in from today, it's the 10th, so they can book in at 1:15, say. Let's just check everything works. Oh, maybe I need to actually see it live. You know what? I'm happy with this one. Let's get the share link. Okay, cool. So as to website. Oh, I can do a pop-up widget. Let's have a quick look. Oh no, you know what? I don't want to do the pop-up. I don't like pop-ups. Inline embed. That might work better. Let's have a quick look at our lead pages. For now though, I'm just going to bang in our Calendly link. So as a quick preview of how this is going to look, this is just going to be a booking form, but they're going to basically click here. We'll change the text in a minute, but they'll click on here. It'll open up a Calendly link. Line marking quotation. Nice, nice, nice. Looks pretty easy. Okay, cool. I quite like it. I think that'll do nicely. I'm just going to add some pictures in here of us, machinery, that sort of thing. Things that we've already got. You know what? I think we'll probably come back to the images. I think we can probably get that through Canva. Just add some extra images in. I have just added a phone number in. If you guys see, I've added an 01604 number. This is a local rate number to us where we're located here. So I actually used a website for this one called TTNC. And I literally, I paid a couple of quid to buy it. So if I go to my phone numbers, you'll see I've got it here. So 01604 935 002. Nice, easy to use number. I paid about £25 for this. And all I need to do, I believe I can edit forwarding on here, call forwarding, destination. I use a call center, but I can actually just add a phone number like this, click add, ring time, we'll do 30 seconds. Let's have a quick look. And that is call forwarding, job done. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're good with that. So yeah, it's nice. Do you need help with forwarding? No, yeah, anyway, done. So it's nice and easy to operate. We've added that to the website so that we've got that there. The only other thing I've got left to do on the website to get it live is on the domains. I purchased mine through GoDaddy just now, and I paid £13 all in with the registration, or whatever it came to, about 13 quid for the edulines.co.uk domain name. Now this is going to take about 24 hours. So, I've literally just done it. Well, sorry, 48 hours, even longer. But that'll mean once it's done, we can then link it to our domain name. So to go to redirect to this main domain once we're done. And yeah, should look pretty good. The other thing I wanted to go through really, so we've set our prices roughly where I think they need to be. I think we're probably going to be more money than some people. Arguably some people are going to be a little bit cheaper. We're going to probably go more that premium price range. And I really wanted to talk about that a bit more because I think that deserves, I don't know, it's one of these things that people really struggle to set prices. You want to be competitive, and a lot of the time people will look at a price, let's say it's £100, doesn't matter what it is, $100. And in order to get the sale, people often go, well, I'll do a little bit cheaper. I'll go 99. I was talking to my dad about this recently. So he wants to start a maths company. Now he's been a maths teacher for a long time. And he said, I was thinking of doing it. There's people out there that are charging £35 an hour for a maths teaching, sort of like one-to-one maths tuition. I was like, okay, cool. So what's your plan? He said, well, I'm going to do it for I don't know what he said now. I think it was like 29 or something. He's going to drop it to literally like just under the 30 mark. So it sounds better. And I just said, I don't understand why. Why would you do that, Dad? He's like, well, I'll get the work, obviously. So I'll get all the work, and then, it's all mine. They'll lose the work. I said, it doesn't really work that way. You're going to drop your prices. They're going to drop their prices, maybe. And you end up with this like pricing war where it's constantly going down and down to the point that, there's next to no money left in it. I found this when I was doing electrical work, and I was an electrician for 15 years. And we used to do electrical testing and pat testing. So a portable appliance, like a monitor, a TV screen, a kettle, whatever it may be, would test those in an office. And then we'd do the circuits, the individual circuit testing. And when I first started, we were like 25 an hour for circuits to be tested. And we were £2.50, give or take, for a pat test item. When I left the industry, there were people doing it for 80 pence an item, literally 80 pence an item just to get the work. And the same for the electrical testing, dropped down to about £7 or £8 a circuit. We were charging 25. And the reason being is it takes a long time to do it properly. You can't do it for £7 or £8 a circuit. You can't do a pat test for 80 pence. It's ridiculously low. Anyway, that's kind of what happens. And I said this to my dad. I said, you can't just drop the prices like that and just expect you're going to win the work. Because one, your competitor may not drop their price, in which case, they're probably still going to keep getting sales at a high price point. And if they do drop their price, then what do? You go to 29, they'll go to 28, you go to 27, and it literally just carries on down. And so my advice was, put the price up. If they're charging 35, charge 40. I always think you should be a premium because it gives you room to, and when I say this, right, you've obviously got to offer a premium service. You can't just charge a premium just for the sake of, being you. There has to be genuine reason behind it. But if you guys want a bit more, let me bring this up. And I appreciate it's a bit of a, push on this, but if you guys are struggling with setting pricing, there's a quick video introductory to it just here that give you sort of the basics and information you need to know. But it is definitely, without a doubt, one of the hardest things people come up against is how much should I charge? And it's probably the one of the most Googled search terms, phrases, whatever you want to say for, whatever industry people are working in. How much do you pay for this? How much should I charge for this? And it comes up time and time again, and it always will do because people are afraid of pricing, and so they drop their prices. They want to know what's my competition charging so I can go less. Or I can charge exactly the same, or a pound less, whatever it may be. So my advice is, find a premium price point where you can make some good money, stick with that price point. And I think that's the only way to do it, in my opinion. So we've got a pricing strategy. We've got our business plan written out. And again, if you guys want to copy the business plan, I have a heavily reduced version that you can get just below. But if you want the full business plan, this is not altruistic in any way. You can get a copy of it, but obviously it is a premium to get it. But other than that, I think we're pretty much set. We've got our letter done. I also ordered a stamp. Let me show you this because I'm pretty excited about this, actually. I just went online. Now, because we're a bit of a budget, we don't really have much money left for marketing. If I just go to my orders, I'll just show you what I just purchased. Here we go. A wax seal kit. So I've just ordered this, and I think I paid, what did I just pay? I'll tell you exactly what I paid in a second. I bought the option A with the 200 or 300 wax beads. There you go. Here it is, $31.99. That's what I just paid. With the custom logo. And I thought I would do this because when you get a letter in, I haven't got any letters here, but when you get a letter in the post and you get the little wax seal on the back, it's like, it's super luxury. And I just thought, well, we don't have the money for Google Ads marketing, but we're going to be hyper targeted on our school marketing with the letter that we're sending out. So I figured if I did a wax seal, It's pretty cheap to me, but it adds a good, nice little touch. So to end the session, I thought let's just run down the costs of what we've spent, give you guys a bit of a tally basically of everything. Let me just bring this up here because I've added a few little bits in the background as well, just while we're going through. So let me just show you exactly what I've paid for everything so you guys can see where we're up to. So running total that we have bought. So you can see this one on Etsy, we paid $31.39 for the Etsy wax seal kit. That I think that's a pretty good price to pay. So let's add this up, $31.39. We have also just bought $49 a month for our lead pages account. Now the lead pages is what we're hosting everything on. So we've spent that on top today. We also signed up to Pipedrive. Now I have got the Pipedrive quotation system. So I paid $69 a month for that one as well. So we're currently coming in at $149.39 is what we spent today. In addition to that, we have spent $8,000 on our line striping machine, which means we've currently got $8,149.39 total spent. So that's where we're up to. Let me write it down for you guys. Current spend to date, $8,149.39. Hopefully, nice and clear. That's pretty much where we're up to for the end of this week. And, I look forward to sharing more next week. Next week, hopefully we'll actually get out and have a few meetings with customers as well. That's my plan. I have to post out the first 50 letters this week as well. So I'm going to get those out in the post now. Look forward to sharing next week with you. Hopefully we're going to get a few meetings underway. I think we'll hopefully have some sales agreed within the next 2 weeks because, like anything, it takes time to get a sale across the line. I'm not expecting it day one. I'm going to send the letters out. Hopefully we'll get some meetings after we do our follow-up phone calls. Once we get that, maybe we'll be able to go out and see some people, put the quotes together. That's where Pipedrive's going to come in, and Xero for our accounting software, which we also need to subscribe to. But since we haven't got any orders just yet, I'm going to hold off just this minute before we purchase that one as well. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're up to yet. So we've got like $1,850 to go basically until broke. Anyway, that's it. That's the end of week 2. I will show you guys next week once we finish filming that one. Look forward to sharing it with you. See you guys later on.